It's Real Comic Book Talk back at you again with the Spider-Man Homecoming review. Oh yeah, we saw it, they saw it, y'all saw it, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't see it. We're about to review it for you, discussion style, okay? Discussion style, okay? With me as always, my boy Al, my boy Anthony.
What's up, y'all?
I'm Daniel. Let's talk about Spider-Man Homecoming. Let's go start with you.
Alright.
How did you feel about Spider-Man Homecoming? Wait, before you say anything, just in case you people haven't seen it already, pause it. Go see the movie at your local cinema theater, and then that is time out. Time out. Pause. Time out. Oh, pause. Time out. Whatever you, however you like it. Okay.
This doesn't mean good.
However you like it.
We're not in football terms.
Go to your local theater, sit in the middle, get a comfy chair, watch the movie, then come back to us, hit the unpause button, and watch this. This man's about to tell you how he felt about the movie. Go for it.
Alright. Me personally, I thought it wasn't a bad movie. I like a lot of the things, even though they took a lot of stuff from the other Spider-Man, this guy right here, Miles Morales, they took a lot from him and they put it in their own story, which made it a pretty good story to me.
Yes.
I mean, I like
Still well written.
Yeah, it was well written. I like, they made it, he was a kid. He is a kid. They showed him as a kid. He's a, 15-year-old sophomore. And I like how he was clumsy. Kids are clumsy.
Yeah.
Kids fall, they do stupid stuff. They don't think. And it shows that he really was not thinking everything through. And I like that. And I like the way Vulture is. I like Shocker. Vulture, he was crazy. He actually...
Good villains.
Yeah, he was
Good
actually
villains.
crazy.
Good villains.
And I like how they weren't like in some of the other movies, that they weren't overpowered. They were villains just for him.
Yep.
I mean, you could see the way they didn't have real superpowers where, it was all mechanical.
It wasn't an overwhelming thing, and it was
Exactly.
more. It was more realistic.
Yeah, it wasn't like, well, how is he gonna beat these people? Like when you have
totally practical.
Exactly.
Totally.
I like that, and it brought it all together to me. It made me enjoy it, and with the way that he's a kid, and it made you feel like he was a kid. He had everyday problems. I like this girl. I like that girl. I'm a nerd, but I like the prettiest girl in school.
Yeah, you like her.
What I'm gonna do?
You like the older chick, Liz.
Yeah.
You liked her.
But I thought it was a good movie.
Man,
thought it was worth going to see. It ain't worth going to see 2-3 times or anything like that.
Okay.
But it's worth going to see.
Y'all heard it from Al. The man said the movie is worth going to see and everything. I feel the same way. Movie was great. It had great pacing.
Mm-hmm.
The cinematography was good. The lighting was good.
Mm-hmm.
Each person who was picked, whoever casted them, casted it well.
Yeah, good job.
Each character fit who they were supposed to be. A Vulture, he was believable as a Vulture. Shocker, even though he was two different Shockers, by the time they got to the second Shocker, you believed that this guy was the Shocker and everything. And then they had Aunt May, who they made her look older than how they had her in Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
She looked kind of younger in Captain America Civil War, so then this one they decided to put her on some different clothes on her, and as Anthony pointed out to me, they changed her clothes and everything and put more higher
mom pants.
Yeah, mom pants. Mom pants.
Mom pants
He didn't really
and
call her
bifocals.
Aunt May. He just called her May.
Yeah, he just called her May and everything.
Yeah.
And they gave her like these big glasses that she totally did not need at all and everything. I don't know why he did that. And they made her like oh yeah, like a little ditzy, like she didn't notice that the guy was hitting on her and flirting with her.
Yeah, right.
Free sticky rice on the house. Oh really? That's nice. Yeah, he wants your number on me.
Yeah.
He wants your number on me. And they had lots of
Aunt May's number.
yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Did you see it in wrestling?
And it had lots of humor in it. It was like Spider-Man normally is. He has cuts, low, quick whips and quick jokes and everything, no matter what he's doing and stuff. And he was put in situations which just had you laughing and everything, where he was outside of the city and was trying to get from one spot to the next, and you're in the suburbs. there is nothing to swing on in the suburbs. But he made it happen
He had to
at
help
one
him.
point.
He had to
And he had to running through golf courses and everything to get to where these idiots who the boss told them don't give demonstrations of your weapons, they started all of a sudden doing their own thing and giving demonstrations of the weapons.
I like to shock people.
Yeah, you know? I was like, this is some ridiculous stuff here, which made it hot. Like you go, what was it, 8 years? Nobody knowing who you are, under the radar. Vulture had a whole criminal thing going on. Perfectly organized, had the Tinkerer, who was also in the comic books and everything, create all these weapons based off the Chitauri leftovers of the...
Any leftovers.
Any leftovers, actually, but they used the Chitauri stuff to help power and everything. And they took whatever they could find from all the destruction in New York and turned it into weapons for street criminals and stuff. And made an empire out of it.
And that was real believable.
Yeah,
You gotta
yes,
think, with
it was
all
so
the
believable.
Chitauri that was everywhere, you telling me nobody took anything, you know?
Department of Damage. Yeah.
I mean-
and like they did with the one shot or the one
The
time
Marvel one shot when the people got
they found the Chitauri weapon
They
there.
robbed the bank.
And they turned that one shot into an actual criminal enterprise for one guy and made it into the movie in there, incorporated it into the movie. Good job, Marvel.
Yeah.
We liked it. It was believable. It was good. It was the people right here,
This side.
this side, enjoyed it and liked it. It made sense, okay? Despite, you gotta admit, despite the fact that other things you don't like, that actually made
It
sense.
was pretty smart.
It was smart.
It brought it together. I mean, the story, even though you wouldn't like the casting and things like that, the story was believable.
I didn't have a problem with the casting. No problem with the casting.
Okay. Also, what was good about the movie was it flowed.
Yeah.
It was a good pacing and it flowed smoothly. Didn't feel like there was never anything in it that really wasn't supposed to be in it. Like every action had a purpose, and every time they did something, you knew why they did it. It wasn't just this is a filler moment. We're just gonna play music and have him build stuff or have him do something for no reason. No. There was like the moment that was closest to the filler was him going through school and going through the motions of school and everything. But he was going through the motions of school because he was waiting on a phone call from Tony Stark, which was never coming anyway. Because he was,
They did have a filler when he said he got told everybody he lost the stock internship. So just show him being a normal kid when he was just like building a starship. Whatever, I don't
They
know.
were showing that he was
No,
he was developing back into a regular life.
Yeah, that wasn't really filler for
Yeah,
me.
it was showing that he
That's
wasn't-
what's happened.
Yeah, that was a filler to me. But
Nah.
it's bigger
It moved the story.
issues than the fucking filler. It's bigger issues than that.
No, he was.
It moved the story.
It moved the story.
Fine, you know what? Fuck it, I don't care. I'm waiting.
It moved the story along and everything, okay? So we got introduced to several villains. We got introduced to Tinkerer. We got introduced to Vulture. We got introduced to the Shocker. And we also got a glimpse of Prowler and everything.
Let me stop you right there, brother. Because that's when shit gets real, brother.
That's when we bring it to
shit
my
gets
man
real.
right here, who has an opinion about the movie. Let's ask you this. What did you think of Spider-Man Homecoming?
Like
them
what
know.
part of Spider-Man Homecoming?
As a whole,
As a
the
whole?
movie as a whole,
As in everything from
everything.
From every decision.
From the beginning of the movie.
from the beginning of the movie or the beginning of
The beginning of the
movie.
movie. From the beginning of the movie, when they first
Including the trailers?
No,
Okay.
the beginning of the movie, when they first show you the first scene of the movie, and the Vulture and him being working and damage control coming in there and interrupting, to the end of the movie and the after credit scene and everything in between that. What did you think, as a whole?
Patience.
As a whole, we done now?
Yeah.
I like okay. The movie itself, big picture wise, man, fuck that shit, man. Fuck everything about that movie.
That's why I'm laughing.
Fuck everything about that movie. You know why? 4 words. Black heroes matter too. Okay? And speaking of black heroes, let's give a shout out to Miles Morales, the best Spider-Man that ever has been or ever will be. Better than Peter Parker on like 16 different levels. Including having a fat Hispanic kid named Genki as his best friend in school. Something Peter Parker never had until all of a sudden gets Ned. Who, and by the way, they made fun of in the Miles Morales book because his books are better than anything Spider-Man has put out, including the 100 times they try to do a Clone series. Spider-Man Miles Morales is shitting on Peter Parker. You need to give it up. Fuck you, Kevin Feige. Fuck you, Sony. Okay? And a little nod to him. Oh, yeah, this is Aaron Davis. I got a nephew here that lives in this neighborhood. Yeah. You know what you should have had? Should have had a goddamn Miles Morales movie. Why? Because you took everything from Miles Morales. Electric Spiderwebs? Guess who had that first? Anybody want to guess? Miles Morales. You know who had a friend kid that knew his secret identity from the jump? Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You know what?
The Spider-Man suit was pretty dope and everything, and
No, you know what's a dope? No, the Spider-Man suit.
And
it's Miles Morales. All right, let me tell you what I thought about the movie though. Outside of fucking the movie, because they stole it damn near 75% from Miles Morales.
Okay, you got good math. You failed math, but okay.
You're right. I was trying to be nice. It's really closer to 85.
All right.
Overall, the story was pretty fine. It's another Marvel Machine movie. They just keep talking about. They know what they're doing. It's fine. Good job, Sony. Let somebody else do the movie. You take all the credit and the money. It's a great job, business-wise. Fantastic.
Yeah, business.
Secondly, you could have did Miles Morales though. We all seen Peter. How many times have you seen Peter Parker reboot?
So let me.
It's
ask
number
you,
3, right? It's number 3.
Let me ask you, if instead of Peter Parker it's Miles Morales, what would you give the movie?
An 8 plus. No doubt. I would give it an 8 plus. That joke would have been the best movie I've ever seen in my life outside of Ninja Turtles. Just because Miles Morales was in it. But they didn't. So the movie's like a C minus. That's how strongly I feel. You wanna know why? Because they stole so much. The Prowler's never had anything to do with Peter Parker's. Never had. I've never known Peter Parker to take a school trip outside of New York. You know who has? Miles Morales. Me personally, I could be wrong. Leave it in the comments if I'm wrong. I admit to it. Probably won't apologize for it, but I admit I was wrong. I've never seen Spider-Man in any kind of science team or whatever. Have you? Have you ever read that? Ever seen it on TV? Anything?
I've seen it now, and I liked it. Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming was what I saw, and Spider-Man Homecoming is
you know who else?
What I will review.
You know who was in the academic team? Point to him for me, huh? Yeah, point to him. Miles Morales. I swear to God, if there was a kid named Miles, I would have slapped shit out of somebody.
I was hoping there was, because we wouldn't be shooting. He would have flipped everything over.
I would never been able to walk to a ASC theater ever again. I'll tell you that.
He would have cut the screen. It would have been. We probably would have had to bail him out. Would have been bad.
Yeah. I had money saved for that too, because I was so from the very jump trailer, and I saw the dude. They named Ned. They named him Ned.
Yeah.
But his real name is Genki.
Yeah, they switched his name.
They switched his name and nothing else. Literally nothing else. They literally took him from the pages, changed his name, and said, "You're Peter Parker."
What do you think of the
Vulture?
bad
The
guy?
villain. A Marvel villain.
Talking about the Prowler?
A Marvel villain named Vulture.
Prowler. All right, here we go. Prowler. Thank you, Donald Glover. You know, you're a better man than me, Donald Glover, because I wouldn't have took it. You know what? It was because of me. I did for Miles Morales. Fuck all this movie, man. That's all Miles Morales, right? Anything Miles Morales, I would say, nope, I don't want it. No parts of this. And didn't have the balls to go replace the character that, because of me, is created.
What do you think of the other 3 villains?
Who?
Tinkerer, Shocker, and Vulture that were also a part of the Spider-Man Homecoming movie that we are currently reviewing.
I am reviewing the Homecoming movie by saying fuck that movie. Don't spend your money on it. Bootleg it. Fire Stick. Movie Box. Showtime. What's this?
We are not promoting or condoning any other illegal watching of a Marvel movie and
Anthony Perry.
Oh my God.
And my mother ain't raised no bitch.
Other parts of the movie that were interesting were
Vulture was fine. I like the way he came about. If that's what you guys are wondering.
That's what we were asking.
It's what we straight up asked.
Sorry. I was quoting the rage moment. I had the rage ring on for the Red Lanterns. But yeah, he was fine. I mean, it's perfect. I like how he was. Number one, I like how they had a mixed couple. But you know who else has a mixed couple? Miles Morales' parents. They do. Say they don't. Half black, half Hispanic.
No, you're right.
You know who else has a diverse school? Miles Morales.
But like I said, they didn't put Miles Morales in there, but I like the other diversity. I like how everything isn't just all...
Yeah, it resembles a real school now.
Exactly.
But you know what else resembled a real school?
Oh my God.
Having a black Spider-Man. Because
it would. But we don't have a black Spider-Man. We have
and
to go
therefore I will forever say fuck this movie. There's nothing else for me to say. But fuck this movie. Fuck what it stands for. Black Heroes Matter. Black Heroes Matter too. I'm just giving you a bunch of hashtags. Fuck Spider-Man Homecoming. All this is happening. You wanna know why? Because you stole, man. And I don't appreciate you stealing. If we would have gave let's say we would have made Iron Man, right? Let's say Iron Man. You know what? How upset would you be if they say, you know what, we're making Black Panther half Caucasian?
Yeah, that's not even possible though.
Yeah. I thought it would be impossible to steal from the black person that has countless books and countless fans. And yet they did. America keeps doing this. It's time for somebody to stand up. I'm doing it.
That's what you're doing.
I'm standing up.
You're standing up for...
I'm standing up for all black heroes.
Okay.
To have their stuff stolen. And given to the white man. And then we get movies like Hancock. Say, here's your black
But
hero.
what about Black Panther?
Is that movie out yet?
I'm just saying.
Is that movie out yet?
I'm
It's
just
not.
saying.
It's not.
I'm just saying.
What about? No, we're not going into
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming. The other things that we noticed that were in the movie, it was his suit, and how once the baby wheels came off and it got hacked into by his friend,
Who's his friend?
his high school friend.
What kind of high school friend was
Ned.
it?
It's Ned.
Name one high school.
Ned.
Name one high school friend Peter Parker had
in the movie,
high school.
In the movie, his friend.
You trying to think of one too?
No,
we're
talking about the movie.
In the movie Spider-Man
Talk about the
Homecoming, which this is the Spider-Man Homecoming review, his friend helped him, the guy in the chair. I'm the guy in the chair. And you guys see the movie.
name is
It was
Dan.
funny. She was like, "What are you doing here?" I'm watching porn.
That, you know what?
All the things you could say
Exactly.
when you get caught up, when you
You know
get
what the
caught
problem I
by
had
a
with that?
teacher,
What?
is
I had
that.
Shayla with me. So after he said I watched the porn, she said he's watching porn. I was like, oh, don't say that. You know, kids was going to be here, man. They
Kids.
said anything.
Well, you got. There you go, Marvel. Tone it down next time. So just for
Tone
the
it
kids.
down.
Just for the kids. Make sure
You know
he
who
says
doesn't do
something
that?
else.
Miles Morales.
I don't know if he. Okay.
I do.
But
I know.
after the suit was hacked into and everything by his friend and everything, and the baby wheels came off, and he had so many other options available to him, which was so cool to see the Spider-Man suit see what happens if you get an upgrade on the Spider-Man suit when Tony Stark gets involved. And when Tony Stark gets involved in something and he adds his own little extra element to it, you get a whole lot of other options, which gave the Spider-Man character a little more dynamic to him, and it was pretty cool.
Like he adds
With
kill mode.
Yeah, it constantly the AI and AI. It lets you know AIs again get the bad rep of trying to be killers,
Yeah.
and like Ultron and stuff.
You think he would
And
not have that after Ultron, though?
Exactly.
You would
You would learn.
that none of the AIs would have any kind of killer response to him, but apparently not. Tony Stark is still Tony Stark, and yeah, Karen, who
Peter Parker's Miles Morales.
Peter Parker named his AI Karen, and Karen was a little bit of her way of dealing with stuff was going towards a violent route.
Yeah.
On
You know
all the
what's funny?
options.
When he saved him, he was upside down. He was like, "This is your chance. Kiss her."
Kiss her.
I was like, "Oh my god, this is so stupid."
Yeah, the AI was giving unnecessary.
Yeah.
It was giving actually positive advice, and everything, and a whole lot of negative advice too at the same time. And the suit also came with some very nifty things, other than the web shooter, the hundreds of options
Yeah.
as for web shooters. As also, when he was all the way in the air, I'm pretty sure that Tony Stark learned from the first movie, you lose oxygen and everything else. And when you come down into a dead drop, you're going to need something to slow you down. And he gave him a parachute. And there was a parachute
Save his
option,
life.
which did save his life.
No, that parachute did
Well,
not.
actually,
That parachute almost killed
did.
him.
The parachute did almost kill him.
It saved him, then it almost killed him.
It didn't almost save him at all.
When he was all the way up in the house, would he have got down and not died?
Well, in any other situation, the parachute would have saved his life. But in
Yeah.
this particular situation,
It
the
almost
water,
died.
the water saves his life. That impact of the water and the softness of
The
the
fact
water
that he has
exposed to the ground.
superhuman strength
Yeah.
saved his life. The
That-
parachute almost drowned him.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say when
Yeah.
Vulture took him up, Vulture had a mask for the high altitude.
Yeah, he did. But
So if he couldn't have got out, he would have still died. Either way, he would have died either way.
the parachute made it so much worse. He would have fell in the water. He could have swum out. The parachute stopped the swim.
But if Vulture didn't not stop, if the Vulture didn't let him go because of the parachute, he would have lost oxygen in that.
And the good thing is he had a tracking device and being monitored by Happy
Yeah,
Hogan, and
right.
Iron Man came to save the day without even having to be there.
Yeah, right. He's
Very-
in India,
Yeah,
chilling.
yeah, just living his life 100% the way he likes to on his terms, you know, billionaire, philanthropist, playboy, and all that good stuff. Everything. Also in Spider-Man, it was funny.
Yeah,
It was him being a kid, him swinging around,
like Miles.
having a good time and everything. Like most kids, they're having a good time in
Yeah,
life.
it was funny when he was on patrol.
Oh my goodness.
He
Oh,
saved the
man.
guy. He caught the guy who was trying to break in his own car. And then everybody came out,
Yo,
Stan
dude,
Lee,
Stan
or
Lee.
the Watcher.
Oh, speaking of Stan Lee, I just want to say your family in my prayers. I know you lost your wife recently.
Oh, yeah,
And-
definitely.
I'm sorry. And I'm just sorry.
Yeah.
I know that hurts.
You
Real
have-
comic book talk.
Fuck Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh my god.
It was also there was other parts of the movie that were good too. The story was smooth. The major twist where Spider-Man and the entire theater, at least the theater I was in, everybody came to saw how Vulture was the father of the
Yeah,
girl that he
everybody
had
was
the
shocked.
biggest crush on,
Everybody.
and he was taken to
See his
the
face?
homecoming dance, and his reaction was like the best. He didn't know what to do, put in a situation where superheroes are, where do I reveal myself? Do I punch him in the face now and take him? Because I know I can take him. I'm
He just
stronger
kept
than him.
staring at him.
Or what do I do?
He was
And
taking pictures. He just kept looking at him.
I'm pretty sure everybody at that moment was thinking, what would I do too?
Yeah.
And when you're in a
I
situation
wasn't thinking that.
where you're dealing with a
I wasn't thinking
villain,
anything about Miles though.
and what do you do?
I
You
tell
know what I
that-
like? I like how in a lot of superhero movies, the bad guy wouldn't deduce who he was by the little bit of information that his daughter gave him.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I like how he broke it down like that. It shows how, because you know they for some reason they always put villains. A lot of villains are stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not. You can't be stupid and be a villain. I hate to say it.
You can't be stupid and have his own business like he did.
Exactly.
So they got
So I
taken
like
from under
I like how he
the
just
man.
broke it down just by the little bit of information. That's how a logical person would think about it. You're there, Spider-Man's there,
So
you
much.
disappear, he come in, you know.
It was such a relief to see that
Yeah.
happen, and everybody in the theater would be saying that anyway. It's like, you gotta know the voice, and
Exactly.
some villain. It's like the first time I ever seen a villain be like, "Yo, that voice is familiar."
Exactly.
And you could see the actor's face and everything. His face was like
That's the same face I made when he said
that
his
voice
name
and
is-
everything.
His
I know that
I have a
voice.
nephew in his neighborhood. I made the same exact face. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's a little more anger though.
and
I booed out loud.
And then the part where they finally pulled up to the school, and my man just pulled out
Yeah.
that gun
He was gangster.
and gave him the truth. And he's
He's like, I'm gonna have a dad talk with him.
yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and have the dad talk, and yeah,
He left us speechless.
that was not a dad talk.
No,
that
it
was
wasn't.
that was
He's like, so,
You
does she know?
Yeah.
He was good. He was close to the chest.
It was gangster. It was yeah.
He was the epitome of somebody trying to check their family and back
Yeah.
to me. That's it.
I mean,
Yes,
it's
and
messed
that's
up
what- and that's what he
because
was doing.
that's all he was about, family.
Yeah, he was.
He had 8 years of a successful criminal business. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
8 years of a successful criminal business.
After they put him in the corner though. So don't forget that though.
Yeah, they did.
He only became a criminal after he was doing
Remember,
it the
he
right
said
way.
he paid for all these trucks. He thought he was about to come off anyway.
Yeah, Damage Control came in and swept and took his contract that he got from the state of New York or whatever, and it led him down one of two paths. Always, you got two options. You can start all over again, or you can just,
Yeah, it was right. though.
follow
He
the
said
path that he decided
The
to
man
take.
that came with that caused the problems get paid to fix the problem.
Yeah. Which
I mean, that
I'm
ain't-
glad they did. They did mention that and bring that up because that's pretty much what's happening there.
And
He always is the one. He's always,
He's always trying to fix the problems he make.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe
But
I was
he's
part
getting
of
richer off of it.
I was part of this. You know what? Fuck all this. I'm gonna help clean it up.
Yeah, and I like how the villain also mentioned and brought up when Peter tried to confront him and said, "You're selling weapons to bad people and you're doing all this," and he was like, "Tony Stark got rich off of selling weapons to
Everybody
people."
always say that.
And everybody forgets about that.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets that
When
Tony
you're Iron
did.
Man.
that he just did it
And-
publicly, and
And his
they're
dad was
doing
doing
it.
it before that.
They're
So.
doing it privately. I mean, the difference is that's pretty much the difference. Is Tony Stark and his family and Stark Industries got a public contract and did it publicly and sold it to everybody in their faces, while he, on the other hand, is doing it in back alleys and under bridges and everything, wherever he can possibly do it, and trying to tell his co-conspirators and everybody else, don't shoot the dang weapons, so that everybody can see a big purple cloud
Wouldn't have been no
exploding and everything would have been fine.
Everything would have been fine.
But
Would have been
no,
much better, Miles Morales. He would have handled that real quick, faster than her.
that's for you to decide and believe.
I did
in
decide.
and
I
things
did
like
decide.
that. The rest of us who saw Spider-Man: Homecoming and saw how Peter Parker. I said
Tony
Tony.
Parker.
I did Tony
It's just
Parker.
meld them
Because
together.
yeah, it is. It's like they're one.
You just watching the Spurs game or something?
No. Also, the large what is it called?
The large
boat.
steamery of
What
Miles
kind-
Morales?
The boat that was going from one part of New York to the other part of New
He
York.
messed that up.
That
That's
decided
Peter
to.
messed that up.
He didn't. Actually, this is my opinion. That would have happened regardless, because the FBI ambushed him, right?
Yeah. I mean,
So
remember
you
when
don't think you think he wouldn't have got out of there by getting in that vulture suit? And
he was trying to leave. He could have easily just left because he was deflecting the gunshots and all that. When Peter put the webs on on that gun,
Oh,
that's what made it go out of control and slice the whole. That's when it exploded.
but I think
Because remember, it's a bomb.
it is.
Just
But
like
I
all the
think
rest
But
of
it would have went bad either
it
way.
was going to go
Yeah, it
bad.
would've been bad.
Because they
either way.
only. I don't know if they were watching Homeboy at the top deck, but we know they were definitely watching them do the reactionary thing on the bottom deck.
Yeah.
And somebody, regardless,
They would have came down on him eventually.
Yeah,
anyway, but-
villains wouldn't have gone down without a fight anyway.
It would have went bad regardless.
It would have went
so
bad.
I don't blame that on Peter Parker.
That was just bad.
Or in my case, Peter/Miles.
Oh my God.
Since that's what it is.
It was. I like the introduction of Shocker,
Yeah.
like Tinkerer. They did a good job with the Tinkerer.
Yeah, Tinkerer. He was very
And
smart.
Vulture.
He could have done anything.
He could have done anything and everything. And Happy Hogan, nice to see Happy Hogan being Happy Hogan again, and not the head of somebody's security like he was in Iron Man 3, which was just not for him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also got to see Pepper Potts again at the end of the movie.
That
which
I was excited about.
Yeah.
very.
I was like, oh, Pepper's back. Now she's gonna be in another movie. I don't know.
We appreciate her seeing Pepper again and her happy self and stuff, and putting Tony in check. That was pretty cool and everything. And also the other things that we saw that were pretty good. What else was in the movie that we?
I know it wasn't in the movie.
Oh, let the people know.
Miles Morales wasn't in the goddamn movie, bro. Let's go back to all the Spider-Man stories they could have did without Miles Morales
Okay.
while he was in high school. No, you've already started this. This train is happening. Threat or Menace, The Power of Science, 8 Arms to Hold You, Bully for You, Love Spider-Man Style, Graduation Day. All Peter Parker storylines while he was in high school. So anybody wants to say, well, they just want to do a Peter Parker story in high school, he doesn't have that many, Miles Morales is still in high school, that's bullshit. I found those that many in less than 30 seconds.
Okay, so
fuck you, Marvel,
that's-
Kevin Feige, and Sony. Y'all can suck a dick.
We
And I
need-
mean that in the most disrespectful way possible.
I'm pretty sure they took it as the most disrespectful way possible, and they will be letting you know once they watch our Spider-Man Homecoming review.